This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes. Hello, watch a few minutes here of Lazy Game Review. If you've not, Lazy Game Reviews on YouTube, pretty cool channel here. On his other channel, LGR Blurbs, he visited Vintage Computer Festival East, and he's touring a bit of a radio and TV museum here, so watch that and get the net started.
Heck yeah.
It's pretty tinny, yeah, pretty tinny. About the only good thing is that the family, more than one person can enjoy the radio, but it's all it is headphones, and so this is a little bit.
Dude, this is awesome. Wow. Goodness. Where do you even start? Can't believe I totally missed this yesterday, too. Oh, hey. I'm on Moving Pictures. Very, very odd experience seeing an iPhone on that camera. Look at that thing. Dude. Oh. Seeing the Diamond Rio in a museum. I mean, it deserves to be here, but wow. Oh, that's so cool. My goodness, look at those tubes. This might somehow be the coolest museum here. I don't know. Like, the computers and stuff are great, but this is amazing. Yeah, I guess they were telling me too, Marconi was doing stuff here, like actually here, on this location or somewhere very close to it. I mean, we're off of like Marconi Road, so I guess that makes sense, but still. I feel like I'm in the most purpose-built antique shop. It's got those kind of vibes, right? It's just with the layout. Yeah. All the little booths. That's such a cool radio. Wood and plastics. Pleasing. Yes. Dang, those are all beautiful. That's Philco. Oh my God. Why is my head so shiny? Anyway, the museum is amazing. Genuinely. Can I come out this way? Oh, I guess so. Oh, it's all rainy. Anyway, yeah, not sure what I'm doing next, but there's talk of food, there's talk of land, there's talk of various activities. Can't tell me what to do.
There's all this stuff in here. So what's built into this is called the mainframe. Mm-hmm. And anything that connects under it is called the under cradle. So this particular one's got the fast Ethernet mainframe, 100 megabit. And that's what we're connecting to.
This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by. Watching Vintage Computer Festival East, LGR Blurbs. I'll skip back to some of the main show here.
Okay.
At some point, we became an official 501c3, and that's when the Federation was started.
This was just for development. It is also hooked into John Hopkins' own radar system. We had a top of building, which unfortunately we don't possess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're transmitting self-portrait and troubleshooting issues on 14 for interrupts.
This thing is 400 hertz power?
Yes, right down there. That's
Oh,
where
good.
your most noise coming from. That
Okay.
isn't from the 1219.
That's
electronic analog is voltages. So what we call this as an analog computer, you might look at it and say, oh, it's a signal processor.
All right, so I encourage you to go check his YouTube channel out, LGR Lazy Game Reviews and LGR Blurbs. Very cool stuff. Good evening and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for April 30th, 2025. A great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general. And thankfully, we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. That's Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November. I'm this evening's net control. Last week was our board meeting, so I wasn't present here. So I want to appreciate Jim and Zero TRP for taking net last week. Maybe mixing up weeks here, but do appreciate that. Tonight we'll be taking your comments, questions, check-ins, updates, and more. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Looks like you all talked about types of transmission lines, discussion, public service opportunities, manual and antenna switches, and grounding last week. We meet every Wednesday except for the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can contact us via email, elmer@w0tx.org, net@w0tx.org, most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive a good portion of our nets and meetings on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to participate in the net as well. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics at least for your call sign and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. You can follow along with check-ins, w0tx.org/check-in. You'll see a spreadsheet of our active net and past nets. With that, if your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles in Denver, no traffic.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. WD0CIV, Charles, thank you so much for checking in. Once more, if your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please call now.
Kilo 0 Lima Papa Romeo Lanier and Inglewood.
Kilo Delta 0 Charlie Papa Echo Steve and Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
All right. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0LPR Lanier and KD0CPE Steve. Thank you so much for checking in. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up to the whole alphabet. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, let us know your call sign, your name. And if you have any traffic or questions, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, please call now.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bloomfield.
Alpha Echo 0 Yankee Romeo, Ed and Arvada with traffic.
Kilo Delta 0 Victor Hotel Delta, Kevin, outside of Como.
Kilo Echo 0 Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. Let me see. Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex. Online, we had KE0 TSF Pete. AE0YR Ed with traffic. KD0 VHD Kevin out of Como. Appreciate you calling in there. And KE0 SUM Jonathan. Thank you all so much for checking in here. All right, another call. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know if you have any traffic questions. Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood.
All right, in that time we had Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, KF0, FPI, Ron. Thank you so much for checking in. This is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Again, this is about an hour-long meeting. We have another 50 or so minutes. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes, talking about STEM, STEAM projects, ham radio projects. We're taking your comments, questions, check-ins, updates, and more. Again, last week, we talked about, N0TRP. Jim took net control, types of transmission lines discussion, public service opportunities, manual antennas, switches, and grounding. With that, once more, we'll take call signs, or we'll take all call signs, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. If you were watching the YouTube just before the net started, I was playing a video by LGR, Lazy Game Reviews, on his channel LGR Blurbs. He recently visited the Vintage Computer Festival East, and also part of that was a radio and television museum that he visited as well. So I was playing a part of that. So you can check that out on his channel if you want. LGR Blurbs. Where'd that go? With that, we had Jonathan, KE0 SUM, checking in with traffic. The net is yours.
0TX repeater.
I'm sorry.
drone, KE0SUM.
I apologize. I think it was Ed, AE0YR with traffic.
Thanks, Daron. Good evening, all. This is Ed. I'm curious if anybody has had any experience trying to hit. I understand there are repeaters along the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Never been before. I'm headed over there. I wondered the merit of taking a handheld and what the chances are of actually hitting one of those repeaters if anybody has any experience trying to do that.
Good question, Ed, AE0YR. Asking about radio repeaters near the Grand Canyon area, Arizona. Just a very cursory search here. Local repeaters within 10 miles. Looks like there's a couple of there's a 2 meter and 70 centimeter. Have not tried that myself, but there's some information online. Anybody else though has tried setting up repeaters around the Grand Canyon area? Please call now. All right. Well, I guess judging from that silence, not hearing too much. Yeah, a couple of things online. Yeah, Arizona. You can look up on Repeater Book, probably 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and see what's active on there and see what's closest. I don't know the exact city that the Grand Canyon is at, but if you have anything else on that or anyone else, go right ahead.
Ed again, AE0YR. I'll certainly have a cell and I can try and use Repeater Book while I'm there. It's a 180-mile trip, so I might get more than one chance. But I wasn't sure the merit of even carrying a handheld because, of course, there's going to be some topographic challenges there, with the terrain and such. So I'm still trying to decide. I just was curious if anybody else had tried it. Thanks, all.
All right, sounds good. Looks like a suggestion here. He's taking a family trip on reddit.com/r/amateur radio. Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, Yellowstone, possibly Glacier. Is it worth taking handhelds? Top comment here was if you have portable HFs, do some Parks on the Air or Summits on the Air activations. Take an HT. If you get to a high open spot, you could get some good distance. If you have incapable of digital modes, you may get even further to reach digital repeaters. One of their clubs has active fusion repeater. Someone has set to some stuff there. Anyone else though? Yeah, good question. It's quite a while since I visited that park. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. We had a question in the chat here, very good, pertinent question, KE0TSF, asking about an announcement that was made on our Sunday Night Net. It is true, if you were listening in, we had to unfortunately make an announcement. The club board unanimously voted due to financial reasons. Our Club Hamfest for this year is canceled. At least the venue, we've given away that spot. I think RM Ham is taking over for that. If people still want something, we can put something on smaller, but it certainly has, unfortunately, it's starting to cost us. I think the writing has been on the wall for quite some time. Let me drop for a moment. All right, so yeah, our Hamfest, which usually takes place, I think, August time, we have taken down on our Hamfest page. It just says it's been canceled. So unfortunately, yeah, we're seeing less and less attendance. It's costing us more and more to put these on, and unfortunately, for the last few years, we really have just been on the cusp of losing money, and this year, it looks like we would be just losing money, unfortunately. So as much as we'd love to keep putting on something just for tradition, we have to kind of look at it from a financial standpoint. So yeah, there'll probably be something a little bit more lengthier, something in our roundtable that's coming out. It should be on our club website in the next day or so and emailed out by the 5th. So we are sorry about that, but in lieu of that, DRC Saturday events, we are starting to get those ramped back up. Those were always quite popular. We have not had anything planned just yet, but we've got a lot of suggestions. And we're also starting to look into, let me drop for a moment once more. We have purchased some equipment to be able to do hybrid meetings. So hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll start to be able to meet more regularly in person, as well as a dual hybrid meeting online. So that's all that I have to say on that, I guess. If anybody has comments or questions on that, unfortunately our Hamfest, in the traditional sense, has been canceled for this year. So we can certainly pick it up back next year, and maybe we need to ramp down the venue size, but that is the decision the board has made. Any comments, questions, anything else on that? Please call now.
Well, didn't another ham radio organization step in to take over that Hamfest slot? KE0SUM.
Yes, the Rocky Mountain Ham Radio Group. August 24th, they are doing their Swap Fest up at the Adams County Fairgrounds, where we previously had it. So you can still attend it. It's just unfortunately not going to be put on by us. But we will still be there probably. We'll have a few tables, so it'll probably look the same, but it will be just held by a different group. So thankfully, RM Ham has been able to take that over as well. All right. And again, this is not a new trend. The Pikes Peak Radio Amateur Association also canceled their MegaFest, maybe due to certain circumstances, similar or not. But, yep, large groups like RM Ham, they have the finances and the resources and the drive to keep these on at least. So thanks to them. We'll still have one this year. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else on that? Go right ahead. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yes. It is just about 7:50 p.m. Mountain Time. I'll take further check-ins if you're just tuning in. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes if you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have traffic or questions, please call now. All right, nothing heard over the air. We had a K0BF, Dustin, checking in online. Question of, he was going to ask, why can't more than one club sponsor a Hamfest so everyone can benefit? That is a great question. Yeah, Hamfests are kind of these legacy, quite older type events that, yeah, I'm not too sure. on that, unfortunately. So I wish that I could have a better answer as to why we couldn't have a better outcome for our club on this, but at least for this year. And it's nothing permanent. We can always test it again, test the waters next year. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. We had AE0LT Ed checking in online as well from Littleton. Thank you so much for checking in.
Comment AE0YR.
Yeah, Ed, AE0YR. Go ahead.
Although it wasn't ham related, I did chair a conference one time, and there was an attempt to make it from two organizations, and a significant challenge arose in, should there be any profits, how do you divide them up? How much revenue came from one organization, how much came from the other, how much attendance came from one, how much came from the other. It just became quite a hurdle to jump over. So that could be one potential challenge to having a multi-entity event.
Thank you. Absolutely, Ed, AE0YR. Yeah, the board did discuss this quite at length. We did have about a half hour, 45-minute discussion of our hour-long meeting, so we didn't take this lightly. So we did discuss that merging with a different group, and it's exact kind of same points of how do the finances work, how does the layout work, and how do all these things work. And unfortunately, it gets kind of sticky, and it kind of works out a little bit better in some of these for just one group to head these on, unfortunately. So it's certainly something we can certainly look into again for the next year, because several other clubs have stopped their ham fests as well. So this is something we could certainly look into for the future as well. So anyone else? Any further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else on that or anything else? We have another half hour, 40 minutes or so. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I can certainly bring up some recent stories or something, but if anybody has anything they'd like to bring up, this is certainly the time to do so. We're taking, again, all call signs, all call suffixes if you'd like to check in, or if you have any comments or questions, or if anybody has anything, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. This is a little bit visual, so I'll try to explain this, but over on reddit.com/r/electronics, there is a submission here. Most EEs, electrical engineers, disagree about the number of turns in this toroidal inductor or choke, but there is a definitive answer. And the photo is one single choke inductor, one ring, and then basically a wire looped once through it and then back. It is hard to describe this visually, but the answer is there are two turns. The wires go through the hole in the middle of the ferrite core twice, and the magnetic field from the current flowing through the wire has the opportunity to interact with the ferrite twice. All magnetic fields generated by the current flowing through the wire that are outside the ferrite's hole cancel. So I would just suggest looking over on /r/electronics from a post 3 days ago. If anybody is watching this or sees this or has comments or questions on this, please call now. All right, so very much similar to the question of how many holes does a straw have. So that probably has a definitive answer as well. anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? I have something else I can bring up, a few other things, but anyone else? That was, again, how many turns are in this toroidal core inductor. So pretty funny stuff there. Anyone else? Please call now.
KM4 CFT checking in.
All right, KM4 CFT, Jonathan, great to hear you in there. If you have anything, go right ahead.
This is KM4 CFT. Now I don't got anything to add. I just wanted to check into the net. Just showed up just now.
All right, sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. 7:55 p.m. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Otherwise, I can certainly bring up some other things, but anyone else? Please call now. All right. Last Friday, the 25th, marks the 150th year since Guglielmo Marconi's date of birth. So plenty of videos on YouTube and plenty of information on him, but a pretty interesting video by the Vatican News on him. I brought this up a few times, but you can go ahead and check that out on YouTube. I'll just play about 10 or seconds. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch out for that. I might play a little bit more after the net.
Marconi dedicated his entire life to bringing all people closer through wireless technology, promoting its spread in every corner of the planet. Aboard the ship Elettra, he crossed all oceans and conducted experiments in 50 countries.
All right, so yeah, check him out. He is definitely one of the grandfathers, godfathers, the fathers of our hobby, and whatnot. So to mark the International Marconi Day, 151 years after his birth, they recall the rich legacy of Guglielmo Marconi, the inventor-entrepreneur who set up the Vatican Radio in 1931 and installed a big cell phone in Pope Pius that connected to the Vatican. So interesting stuff there. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right. A recent festival that it did happen here, I did not attend it. I'll put it out there. Did anybody attend on the 13th of April, the Vintage Voltage Expo, the National Western Expo Hall? I wondered, was anybody in attendance to that? It's a fairly popular event, but fairly low-key. It looks like the Colorado Antique Radio Club participated. Anyone else on that, though? The Vintage Voltage Expo. Please call now.
0TX repeater.
All right, so yeah, it's definitely adjacent to our hobby. Lots of audio enthusiasts, audio outside of ham radio as well. So yeah, definitely check that out. It usually happens, I think, the first couple of weeks in April. Anyone else on that or anything else? Please call now. All right, it's just about to tick over to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Anybody else? Comments, questions, check-ins? I can certainly bring up some more things, but if anybody has any further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net, please call now.
evening. The time is 8 p.m.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? I can certainly bring up some other things, but anyone else, please call now. Let's see, over on the blog, rtl-sdr.com, from the future, May 1st. It's probably just a different time zone. The software-defined radio provides vital information during Portugal in Spain blackout. Over on this channel here, they have a short posting highlighting how critical monitoring radio communications was during the mass power outage in Spain. This week, Spain and Portugal experienced countrywide blackouts, leaving more than 55 million people without power for more than half a day. During the blackout, news was difficult to obtain as mobile services and internet connections failed. They used a charged laptop and a software-defined radio to monitor FM, AM, amateur, and emergency services, providing up-to-date information to his neighborhood. Pretty interesting how that all can work. So, pretty cool stuff there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Again, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, or anything else for the net, please call now. All right, recent news here from some satellite operations. New satellite, the Geostationary Operational Environment Satellites, NOAA's newest satellite in their fleet, goes fully operational. The GOES-19 satellites, one of the most advanced ever, has taken on a new name. The final satellite in their weather satellite in NOAA's satellite series has a new place in orbit. It launched into orbit in June 2024, has officially taken place of its predecessor, GOES-16, to watch over the Western Hemisphere from its perch 22,000 miles above us. To mark the milestone, a new name of goes east to serve as the dominant geostationary satellite in the fleet. If you're not aware, you can pick satellite images up from these very HRPT, high-resolution protocol images. So you may be aware of LPT, of low-resolution protocol, but you can get high-resolution photos from these weather satellites. So that is why I'm bringing that up, and we will see how that goes. So with GOES-19 now in operation, NOAA has delivered the full fleet of their satellites, providing the GOES-R satellites to orbit, providing the most sophisticated technology ever flown in space to help forecast weather on Earth, said Stephen Volz, Assistant Administrator for NOAA's Satellite and Information Service. Supports NOAA's mission to provide secure and timely access to global environmental data and information to promote and protect the nation's security, environment, economy, and quality of life. So, pretty cool stuff there. This is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Again, a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any comments or questions, we're taking all comments, all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. All right. Anyone else then? Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? We have another 25 or so minutes. We don't necessarily need to run the full length of the hour-long meeting here, but I can certainly stretch it out for as long as we need. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Article here over on hackaday.com, written by Dan Maloney on April 11th. Brush up on your tradecraft with this tiny FM bug. So spycraft, would-be spooks and spies, take note. This one transistor FM transmitter is a circuit you might want to keep in mind for your bugging needs. True, field agents aren't likely to need to build their own equipment, but how cool a spy would you be if you could? Luckily, you won't need too many parts to recreate Cyprian call sign YO6DXE project, most of which could be found in a decently stocked junk bin or even harvested from e-waste. On the downside, the circuit is pretty fussy, with even minor component value changes causing a major change in center frequency. They had to do a lot of filling to get the frequency in the FM band, particularly with the inductor in the LC tank circuit. Even dropping battery voltage shifted the frequency significantly, which required a Zener diode to address. They ran a few tests and managed to get a solid copy to 80 meters range, which is pretty impressive for such a limited circuit. The harmonics, which extended up into the ham bands and possibly beyond, are a bit of a problem. While those could be addressed with a low-pass filter in practical terms, the power of this little fella is probably low enough to keep you from getting into serious trouble. Still, it's best not to push your luck. While you're trying your hands at one-transistor circuits, you might want to try their one-transistor CW transceiver next. So, pretty neat stuff here.
0TX repeater.
All right. This is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have 13 check-ins here so far this evening. Anyone else? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. See if I can bring up anything else. But any other further comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. Let's see, another article here from Hackaday. Radio repeaters in the sky. YouTuber here we've talked about before, Save It for Parts. One of the first things that an amateur radio operator is likely to do once receiving their license is grab a dual band handheld and try to make contacts with a local repeater. After the initial contacts, though, many hams move on to more technically challenged aspects of the hobby. One of those being activating space-based repeaters instead of their terrestrial counterparts. Again, Save It for Parts takes a look at some more esoteric uses of these radios in their latest video. There are plenty of satellite repeaters flying around the world that are actually legal for hams to use, whether most being in low Earth orbit and making quick passes at predictable times, but there are others, generally operated by the world's militaries, that are in higher geostationary orbits, which allow them to serve a specific area continually. With a specialized three-dimensional Yagi antenna, Yagi-Uda, on loan, they listens in on some of these signals. Some of it presumably encrypted military activity, but there's also some pirate radios and state propaganda stations. There are a few types of radio repeaters operating out in space as well, and not all of them are in geostationary orbit. turning the antenna to the north, they find a few Russian satellites in orbit specifically designed to provide polar regions with a similar radio service. These sometimes will overlap with terrestrial radio, like TV or air traffic, and happily repeat them at brief intervals. They have plenty of videos on other satellite communications, including grabbing images from weather satellites, using leftover junk to grab weather data, and using internet via satellite with 80s technology. So check his YouTube out.
Repeating pattern here might actually be military users trying to drown them out or knock them off the channel. And this interference just showed up recently after they'd been talking for a while. And it looks like it might have worked. It knocked...
All right. It is 8:11 p.m. Mountain Time. It's been fairly quiet this evening, but that's all right. Anybody else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right. Anybody else? Once more, I can certainly bring up another article or two to round things out, but anybody else? Please call now. All right. One more article here from hackaday.com. Let me see. Yeah, this will work. One last article here. It's pretty long, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but written by Al Williams. The DIY 1980 picture phone. If you've only been around for the internet age, you may not realize that Hackaday is the successor of electronics magazines. In their heyday, magazines like Popular Electronics, Radio Electronics, and Elementary Electronics brought us projects to build. Hacks, if you will. Just like Hackaday, not all readers are at the same skill level. So you'd see some hat with a blinking light on it, followed by some super advanced project like a TV typewriter or computer, or a picture phone. In 1982, Radio Electronics, a major magazine of the day, showed plans for building a picture phone. All you needed was a closed-circuit TV camera, a TV, a telephone, and about 2 shoe boxes crammed full of parts. Like many picture phones of its day, it was stretching to the definition a little. It actually used ham radio-style slow-scan television to send a frame of video about once every 8 seconds. That's not backwards. The frame rate was 0.125 hertz. And while the resulting 128 by 256 image would seem crude today, this was amazing high-tech for 1982. So the heart of this article, slow scan television, as we've talked in the past. Hams had been playing with slow scan for a long time. Early experimenters used high persistent CRTs, so you'd see the image for a long time as the phosphor kept glowing. It didn't take long for hams to take advantage of modern circuits to capture the slow input and convert it to a normal TV signal. Still, it never really caught on for telephone networks. A few years later, a few commercial products offered similar. Atari made a phone, was bought by Mitsubishi, sold to Luna. Let me see. All right, and then it goes into different kits that were could have been sold and whatnot. So robot kits, you could buy entire kits or just key parts, which was a common thing for making magazines, for magazines to do in those days. Robot research, let's see, lots of parts. Yeah, really cool stuff here. So yeah, it's a fairly lengthy article here, but DIY 1982 picture phone. Okay, I will throw it out. If there's nothing else in the next few minutes, I might start to wrap the net up here. But again, just to really briefly recap, Ed AE0YR was asking about repeaters in the Grand Canyon area earlier on in the net. Didn't hear too much about that. Let's see, we did talk about, unfortunately, we've, as a Denver Radio Club, have had to cancel our Ham Fest for this year, but the Rocky Mountain Ham Radio Group is taking it over. Same date, so August 27th, I believe. August 24th, excuse me, at the Adams County Fairgrounds. What else? And then just some random stories, bits and bobs there. So, yeah, not too much this evening, but anyone else, please call now. Okay, let me see if there's any last minute things I can bring up here. But if anybody has any last things, again, we have another 15 or so minutes, but we might start to wrap the net up here a little bit early. Anyone else, though, at the moment, please call now.
0TX repeater.
I did also mention it's the 151st year since the birth of Guglielmo Marconi, so you can go check out more information on him. Inventor and entrepreneur of a lot of early amateur radio and wireless technology. Article here on arl.org/news, effort to save Marconi Towers in Canada. Public invited to vote on the project. There's an effort underway to save some of Marconi's original towers, and an online poll is open for people to vote. Vote on it being a restoration project through the Next Great Save project from the National Trust for Canada. Some of Marconi's first messages were received and transmitted using the Battle Harbor Marconi Towers. Thought to be the last of their kind standing in North America, news of Admiral Robert Peary's 1909 North Pole expedition was transmitted by these towers. After 100 years, the twin towers are in need of repair. To honor 150 years since Marconi's birth, there are a number of events planned around the world to observe his birthday. Again, this happened before the International Marconi Day, which was the 25th. In the United States, from the Port of Baltimore, Maryland, the nuclear ship Savannah Amateur Radio Club will operate K3S on April 26th from 1300 to 2100 Zulu. So more info on nextgreatsave.nationaltrustcanada.ca. Okay. With that, I'll throw it out to the group for final comments or check-ins or comments or anything. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard. I guess we'll leave it there for this evening. I'd like to thank the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters. We appreciate all Elmers and people checking in and helping people. We had a total of 13 check-ins. Really do appreciate that. Again, more information on our club, w0tx.org. You'll see our roundtable coming up there, I think tomorrow. And more info on us there. With that, I guess, I guess we will close the net out. Again, thank everyone for joining us, and joining us next week, the 7th. We'll have our meeting the third Wednesday of the month, so that will be the 21st of May, I think, still to be announced. So look out for that. 7-3 to all, and I will be clear.
And conducted experiments in 50 countries. He dreamed up global communication as we understand it today and made it a reality without ever ignoring its risks.